The trial has begun for the former England football captain John Terry, who's accused of racially abusing a rival player during a Premier League match last year. Anton Ferdinand claimed he found the comments very hurtful. John Terry denies the charge, but the prosecution read out in court sexually and racially offensive comments it claims were made by Terry. Our sport correspondent Dan Rowan was there.
John Terry arriving here this morning for arguably his most important and high-profile fixture to date. The England and Chelsea centre-back about to embark on a defence of an altogether different kind. It was in October of last year, during a Premier League game between Queen's Park Rangers and Chelsea at Loftus Road, that the incident in question took place. During an altercation with Anton Ferdinand, Terry is accused of racially abusing his opponent in response to goading about his alleged affair with a former teammate's partner. Terry was shown previously unbroadcast footage of the alleged incident, remaining impassive as he listened to the evidence and made notes throughout. He heard the prosecution tell the court that he'd admitted shouting at Ferdinand a series of obscenities, ending with the words black. They went on to argue that the defendant's case is that they were uttered by way of sarcastic exclamation or inquiry in relation to a perceived false accusation made by Mr. Ferdinand. The court heard how, in effect, Terry had told the FA that he'd merely repeated words that Ferdinand mistakenly thought he'd used. But Ferdinand denied ever making such an accusation, describing the exchange as just handbags and banter, and shook Terry's hand, he said, when the two spoke after the game. Coming face to face with Terry, Ferdinand said that when shown the footage after the match, however, he'd become convinced that racist terms had been used, and that had he been aware of it on the pitch, he would have obviously been very hurt. When someone brings your colour into it, it takes it to another level, and it's very hurtful, he said. For the last 10 months, this case has overshadowed some fine performances by Terry for both club and country, and seen him stripped of the England captaincy. But after an uncomfortable day for the sport, the defender will be aware that more than football is at stake this week. If found guilty, he faces a maximum fine of just £2,500, but the damage to his reputation could prove more costly. Terry denies the charge, and the case continues. Dan Rowan, BBC News, Westminster Magistrates Court.